certificates of uniting in matrimony. Sheila, Chris, Suratos Aquino, and Carl Jo Ruiz Reyes Antig in marriage. And today we do celebrate one of life's greatest moments as we do give recognition to the worth and the beauty of love. So let us now begin. Everyone rise. Let's have everyone rise, please. Please stand. Gentlemen, those of you who have veils or and aras, make sure you grab them when I call you. Okay? When I start to talk about it, grab them. And so, my friends, we are ready to begin the marriage right now. And what I'd like to do, well, actually, before I even get started, tradition very strongly suggests that I ask that if there's anyone present who feels that they have just cause why this couple should not be married today, well, you know what, frankly, you could just keep your opinions to yourselves, okay? Let me go ahead and repeat that. You can keep your opinions to yourselves because Sheila and Chris are going to have themselves a wedding. And, Sheila, what did I say? Oh, you know what? That's Sheila, Chris, and Carl. You all knew what I was talking about. So with that, Carl, I will release you to please greet your bride. You will go ahead and give your bouquet to one of your best person there. Okay? All right. And now what you're going to do is you're going to face each other. And I'm going to have you join hands. I want you to take a deep breath while everybody else is being seated. Take your seats. Okay. And go ahead and take a deep breath, Carl and Sheila, Chris. And I want you to act like you like each other. Okay? All right. And while they're standing before you, I'm going to go ahead and provide you with something that I want to call Sheila and Carl 101. It's just a little overview of their relationship together up until this point. Now, in grade school, Carl was friends with another little boy who happened to have a sister. At that young age, little boys don't really pay much attention to little girls. However, it was then and there that out of the routine of ordinary life, something extraordinary did happen. That little boy's sister happened to be Sheila. And they two, being at the same place at the same time, happened to be at the right place at the right time. They met. And it was with that meeting early on, when they were just mere children, that our would-be couple's journey together in life began. Now, fast forward to 2000. Sheila and Carl were both then in high school, attending the same high school. It was during Sheila's first year that she and Carl took an interest in each other, and they took their initial steps towards romance. They became girlfriend and boyfriend, and I found out that their first date was at McDonald's. Big spender, right? And not only that, Carl says that he didn't waste any time. Listen, are you going to be my girlfriend or what? And obviously, that did the job. Okay? They did become boyfriend and girlfriend, but that leg of their journey together was short-lived, and it only lasted a few 4 months before it hit a bump in the road. They went their separate ways. And it was years later, and actually 11,897 kilometers away from the Philippines where they met, that the sun, the moon, the stars, and the planets began to align, and Sheila and Carl, that's when once again, in 2008, that here in Southern California, your relationship took root and really flourished. It blossomed and came into full bloom on August 8th of 2017 when our lovers became engaged. They were in Miami, Florida, celebrating Sheila's birthday, but it was Carl who actually got the gift of a lifetime. When asking her to marry, Sheila answered Carl's iconic question with a
Yes.
Yes.
yes. And so it is that Sheila and Carl stand before you today, my friends and family, ready to celebrate not only the joy and happiness that they have already known, but the joy and happiness that still awaits them as they commit to each other in an even deeper level of committed love. So Sheila and Carl, today you are getting married. However, the wedding is just an outward representation of the inward union of your hearts. So we begin with the marriage rite itself with a reading from Scripture, and it comes from the 1 Corinthians, the book of 1 Corinthians, and it's chapter 13. It's very ubiquitous. Many of you know it. And it's a good reading. It's a good reading because it offers words of wisdom that a bride and groom can use to build a strong and a vibrant relationship in marriage, but it also gives us wisdom, directions on how we can lead our lives, especially in a world that is too often at odds with itself. So, and again, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, it believes all things, it hopes all things, endures all things, and love never ends. And so, with that, we are now going to move to three distinctly Filipino traditions that have their roots in Spain. They are the placing of the veil, the pinning of the veil, the placing of the cord, and the exchange of aras. Okay? And at first, we're going to have, let's see, it's Kathleen, right? Kathleen and Manning come forward to place the veil. Now the veil, or belo, in Filipino is a representation of the love that unites Sheila and Carl today. The two from this day forward are clothed as one, and it is said to represent a home that is filled with love, a love that has as its source the divine. Okay, it looks like we're looking for some pins. To the rescue. There you go. So as the veil is being placed, Sheila and Carl, through the passing of years, let the veil remind you that you belong to each other and to no one else. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. And actually, traditionally, the veil goes over the bride's head. However, in contemporary terms, the fact that it is over her shoulders as well shows them, okay, and shows the world that they are equal, all right? That they are equal and that they are both heads of the household. Now, traditionally, the groom is thought of as the head, but then tradition also says that the bride is the neck, and the head can't do anything unless the neck cooperates, right? All right. Okay. So now we're going to have the placing of the cord. And so Jasmine and Farron, please come forward. And that just goes over their heads. The cord, or the yugal, represents the unity that Sheila and Carl have found in their love for one another. Good, that's fine. And furthermore, the cord symbolizes an infinite bond that's strong in the face of adversity. They didn't choke you today. Okay, no choking on. May this cord, Sheila, okay, excuse me, and Carl, remind you to face your life together courageously and to be mutual in your support for one another. And may your love continue to grow stronger and bind you closer together through the years. And next, the third Filipino tradition is the exchange of aras. And if I can have Tiffany and Luis come forward. And aras are coins, okay? Now originally, there was an understanding that the husband was the breadwinner and wife was homemaker. So the coins were given and received not in the spirit of reciprocity. Give them to Carl, please. Thank you very much. Okay. And you can go ahead and go back. So the coins were not given in the spirit of reciprocity, but in a one-way give-take relationship. Nowadays, the coins are a reminder of good stewardship that's shared equally between husband and wife. And these coins symbolize Sheila's and Carl's mutual support for each other, your responsibility to each other, your future children, and the world around you. Carl, go ahead and hand those coins to Sheila. Oh, go ahead.
Sheila, I give you these hours as a pledge of my dedication to you, the care of our home, and the welfare of our children.
Okay, and Sheila, you can hand them back to Carl.
Carl, I accept the arrows, and in the same way, I pledge my dedication to you, the care of our home, and the welfare of our children.
And now, let's have the best man come forward. May I have the coins? Now, traditionally in the Philippines, the coins were given to the best man for safekeeping. Do you accept the aras? I'm sorry.
Yes, of course.
So now, Carl and Sheila, you know that if you ever run into financial problems, guess where you're going to go? All right? All right. So make sure that you are gainfully employed. Make sure that you have an extra room, maybe 2 or 3 rooms at your house. All right. All right. Thank you very much. You have every day. Every new day is a new day. Be mindful that the little things are the big things. You're very good. Be mindful that you will never be too old to hold hands as you're doing now. It's remembering to say I love you at least once a day, but I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you to try and at least count, okay? It is never going to sleep angry. It's standing together to face the world. It's speaking words of appreciation and demonstrating gratitude in thoughtful and creative ways. It's having the capacity to forgive and to forget, and it's giving each other the atmosphere in which each of you can grow to your own full potential. It is the common search for the good and the beautiful as you venture out into the world, but it is especially for you to remember, continue to search for the good and the beautiful in each other. So be mindful, again, that you have found the right person, that in marriage it's more than just finding the right person, it is being the right partner. Okay? All right. So now, let's go ahead and remove the veil and the cord, and I'm going to have Jasmine and Farron come forward. Very good. And now, to release from the veil and the cord, what, Sheila and Carl have also wished to include is a tradition, and it is the lighting of the unity candle. Behind me, where's the candle? There we go. It is not only the coming together of individuals as husband and wife, but it also is the coming together of families. And I have asked, okay, Lito and Edna, father of the groom and mother of the bride, to come forward. And you, where's the other candle? So, the two individual candles that the parents hold right now are a symbol of the two of them as individuals up until this particular time. And what they are going to do is they're going to light the candles for their children. And together, what they will do then, the bride and groom will join their two flames in creating one single flame. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hold it. So go ahead and light the candles. And it's a little windy here, so we may not be able to go ahead and successfully light candles. Okay. But my friends, what's even more important is that you do know that what's important is the light of love that is ever shining brightly in the hearts of our bride and groom. Tell you what, go ahead and just give them the candles. Go ahead and give them the candles. And you will symbolically join them together. Okay? Just like that. All right? And now, those of you who are front, you see the candle flame, don't you? Yeah. All right. You back there? All right. Eyes of faith. Okay? Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Okay? So, shining brightly, my friends. And you can go ahead and have your seats. Okay? I'm going to give these to you. All right. And now we have also, I believe that you are going to also observe the sand laying ceremony. Okay? Now you have to.
What is it? Yeah, white, yellow, and blue.
What's the who would be?
And what you will do, go ahead and come forward. Individual candles are a representation of Carl and Sheila as individuals. The symbolism behind this is that as they pour the sand into the container, okay, it is a symbol. It is a representation of the two coming together. Okay. So what you're seeing is a visual representation of the two coming together. And I might also add that in men, even though they are blending their lives together, they do not lose their individuality. They are still individuals who will pursue their own desires and goals. Don't those look good? Good? And we're going to find out who's the boss by seeing who pours the last little bit. Okay? I think Carl's afraid. Go ahead, Sheila. There's a little more room in there. Go ahead. It's not filled all the way. Go ahead. Oh, there we go. Come on. She spilled a little bit, but you know what? That's how life is. Life is messy, right? And that's just a representation of the fact that their love is overflowing. All right? And go ahead and stand forward again. So, it looks like Sheila gets the last word. So, as difficult as it would be to separate the two sands and return them to the individual containers, that's how difficult it will be for you two to ever be separated. Okay? All right. So now we move to the marriage rite itself. And it begins with what is traditionally called the Declaration of Intent. And sometimes it's called the I do's, because that's what I expect to hear when I ask Carl. Carl, do you take Sheila to be your lawfully wedded wife to live together in marriage?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
I do.
Did you all hear that? All right, what is it one more time?
I do.
Is that any better? All right, they're going to let you go with that. And Sheila, do you take Carl to be your lawfully wedded husband to live together in marriage?
I do.
Did you hear that? All right, and they're going to let you go with that too. And now, I'm going to have you face each other. Now, you're going to state your vows. Okay? Carl, I want you to look into her eyes. You did it.
I call Sheila to be my wife, mother to my children, a partner in life, and one true love. I'll cherish our friendship, love you, for each day, and every day. I will trust you, respect you, love and marriage you, having you faithfully through good times and bad. I give you my hand, my heart, my love, from this day forward, for as long as the Lord shall live.
Now Sheila's going to return the favor as well.
I, Sheila, take you, Carl, to be my husband, the father of my children, my partner in life, and my one true love. I will cherish our friendship and love you more each day than I did the day before. I will laugh with you and cry with you. Trust and respect you. Loving you faithfully through the good times and bad. I give you my hand, my heart, my love, from this day forward, for as long as we both shall live.
Reminded of the love that is theirs and theirs alone. Now, the wedding gown has no beginning nor an end. It is a representation of a love that is eternal. Well, I have the rings between my thumb and my forefinger. What I'd like to do is ask for a little bit of audience participation. Okay. Can you focus on these rings? Do that for me. Are you focusing? And as you focus on these rings, if you would, please send your best wishes, your most positive thoughts, your blessings, but most of all, send your love to these rings. Can you do that? Okay. So now, having done that, wherever Carl and Sheila go, they will first and foremost be reminded of the love that they share, but they will also be reminded of the love and the support that you as their family and friends have for them. Okay? So now, Carl, take this ring. You will go ahead and place that on Sheila's left ring finger. You're going to gaze very deeply into her beautiful eyes. No, not look at me. I'm not going home with you. Look into her eyes. Look into her eyes.
Sheila, I give you this ring as a symbol of our promise to love you always. Of this ring, I always give you all that I am and all that I have. And with this ring, I marry you, baby.
As a symbol of my promise to love you always. With this ring, I also give you all that I have and all that I am. And with this ring, I marry you. Right back, baby.
Go ahead and join hands. Okay? And we have come to the point where I would like to again invite some audience participation. You see that Carl and Sheila have joined their hands. If you're sitting next to your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, if you see someone you want as a boyfriend or a girlfriend, go ahead and reach out to them. Okay? And the following words, apply them to your own lives if they're applicable, but they are very specifically Carl and Sheila. Carl and Sheila, these are the hands of your best friend, strong and vibrant with love, holding yours on this, your wedding day, and promising to love you all the days of your life. These are the hands that will work alongside yours as together you build your future, as you share your innermost secrets and dreams. And these are the hands that will work long hours for you and your new family, and these are the hands that will passionately love you and cherish you through the years for a lifetime of happiness. And these are the hands that will hold each child in tender care, soothing them through illness and hurt, and supporting and encouraging them along the way, but also knowing it's time to let go. And these are the hands that will hold you tight as you struggle through difficult times, comfort you when you're sick, and console you when you are grieving. God bless these hands. May they always reach out and hold on to one another, especially during the storms and the stress of dark and disillusionment. Keep them tender and gentle as they nurture each other in their wondrous love. May these hands continue to build a relationship that's rich and caring and devoted and supporting your own wondrous love as well. Now lastly, may you see each other's hands as healing, protecting, sheltering, and guiding. Okay? And now, children, we're about to get you married. Take a deep breath. Everybody take a deep breath. Come on. Because these are the words on each other's fingers and the vows that you've expressed. I do pronounce you to be married. So congratulations. Paparazzi, hang on. I'm going to step aside so I don't photobomb this, okay? Sheila, Chris, and Carl, you may now seal your vows with a kiss. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. All right, turn around, and you're going to go ahead and face your family and your friends. And ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, it is now my distinct honor and my personal pleasure to introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Carl and Sheila Pantig. Yes! Go ahead and continue to greet them as they walk down the aisle for the first time as husband and wife. Go ahead and give them a hand. Continue on. Bravo.
Pa, you're in the way, Pa.
So congratulations.